Do do do. What up? What up? I always watch a bunch of YouTubers and they have like crazy ways they say hello to everybody. And it's like once you start the video, then all the cool stuff doesn't pop in my head. Hello, hello. I'll give it a couple minutes for everybody to join in. I tried to pick my medium extra super small shirt so I can possibly see better. I did not pick pants. I should go change. Whatever. Hello, hello. This should be a good one. I killed my legs today, so I will need this one myself. What's up? What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? We're going to continue pelvic tilt. So we're going to go down the legs. And who knows what else. I might have to cut it short tonight, too, because my little man's going ballistic. He's had a tired day. Well, we're getting the website set up. Just paid the dude, so the dude, as long as he gets it done in a hurry, then I'll be able to, I hope, to my understanding, we'll be able to upload all that stuff. So after I do these videos, then I can upload them to the site, so you guys will have an archive. If not, I mean, if it doesn't go to the site like that, maybe, you know, then I'll get it to do it in the future, and I'll just find a hosting service so you guys can go on there. I haven't done it in a while. I used to have it on my Google Drive, but I guess I didn't pay for it, and I don't feel like paying for it again because I don't really use it, don't really need it. So I'll just get something else that I can do to where everybody can see it. We'll go one more minute, see if anybody comes. I didn't really post a bunch this week, so that's normally how I get a bunch of people that come in, but I've been getting lots of people hitting me up. Like, we only had a couple people put their name in for the raffle the first week, and last week I forget what it was. It's like 20 or something like that, which is cool. Trying to get that up. So we sent out 4 free rollers. These are the 2 options. I'll just start talking about it now. We can get going. Basically, yeah, that's genius, huh? Why don't I just put them up on a YouTube? But that means I have to make another YouTube, and then I love technology and stuff, but then I just like 400 things for me to do, and I'm trying to like maintain stuff. Plus, once like you guys will be the first one to see. This is the new design I did. So instead of the big bulky piece I did at the bottom, soldering and everything, which took me forever, and I was inhaling freaking lead and everything. I did a Y off of this. Now it's real simple. Boop. Comes off. Beauty of this is it's much cheaper because I can knock 20 bucks off of that. I'm doing some other stuff with Spotify and everything to get the price down. But no longer is it 75 bucks, guys. It's 55 bucks. So I don't care about getting rich off this. I wanted it, and I realized I sold a lot of these, but I should have been selling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these for what it does. And 75 bucks, people just can't afford that sometimes. So I want people to be like, no brainer, boom, 55 bucks. I hope it does it. And so I made it to where, boom, boom, you ruin this guy. It's very easy for me to cut a piece, replace that, and now you have a new piece. So if anybody's piece is wearing out, it's going to be a lot cheaper for me to fix it, a lot cheaper for me to send one out. I will not charge an arm and a leg to do it. And it's super easy to replace like that. And I can trust, guys, when you do the new belt, if you guys order anything new in the future, if you already have a current and existing kit, this Y piece comes off too. So I can build this whole new section and send it out to everybody. But if you guys have one, I know it gets in the way and stuff when you're rolling, but dude, if anybody's complaining about pain or anything, that's one of the number 1 complaints about foam rolling, is it hurts and stuff like that. So this definitely, it gives it a place for that negative energy to disperse, and it balances it out. You figure the earth is like, we're like this because all this energy, and we're a little magnetic field, and the earth is this big beast, just slow, and we're over here like this, and it's real slow. I can't do 2 hands at the same time for some reason. But it balances us down. Next thing you know, we're calming down our vibration. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. All right, so Roll Into Fitness, the main homie. Let me put my tag in here. Get my big old mug up in your screens. So that is the homie, guys. Check him out. My man over there. I always forget his name. So when you see this, write me and tell me, idiot. Remember the name. He is so kind and generous, and we're so blessed. Man, I pray for this dude because he's hooking us up. So please check him out. Even if you don't win one or have one yet, dude, guys, these are legit, okay? Foam rolling and everything to do with foam rolling. I'm not even selling these. I use these myself. These are like amazing, okay? And you'll see when I use them tonight. They dig in and they work wonders, okay? And if you don't have one and you're contemplating one, get one. Seriously, it makes a really big difference when you have. All you really need is boom and boom, okay? I don't like these for the wall. I don't even know if he has an actual, I do 2 every week, bro. Or I don't know if that's a girl or a guy. So stop. Sorry if I don't say it right, but can you still enter every week? Send in your name, okay, guys? So it's not one time I'm doing this. Every week he's giving me 2, and you can get the gray soft one or you can get the black hard one every week, okay? And the only other thing I use is from my homies at Mobilitas. Just Mobilitas. Mobilit. I don't know if I spelled that right. But this guy, I don't like these for the wall, for doing your shoulder blade. I like these. I like to sit like I am now and then get it back in there in the shoulder blade, put it back behind, and lean on the wall, or standing too if you really need to get some more aggressive pressure. You can also do all sorts of stuff with this on the ground, but, you know, tread carefully. This sucker gets in there deep. That's why I like these, because it balances with it. So let's not waste any time, guys. If you're new to this, if you're just watching my live video for the first time, foam rolling is not about rolling. That's why it doesn't work for people. Second of all, the body's 99% water. People don't know that, okay? I've been studying the biochemistry and physics of water for going on 5 years now, okay? Dr. Pollack, Pollacks, okay? Pollack, and I always used to typing the S because of Pollack's work. So Dr. Pollack, he's the lead dude in water in the world, okay? And more than 9 out of 10 molecules in the body are always water, okay? So yes, there's essential fatty acids. There's different things that mix in with that water constantly that are receiving light and doing different things that work with our body, okay? There's different nutrients that are being taken in and administered, but almost every single thing is mostly made up of water. So, taking that into account, yes, you can change tissue. Why? Because it's water with energy going through it. Guess what people want to say? Oh, that's too far out. There's no way that that can be possible. Oh, yeah, but you believe in quantum physics and all the crazy stuff that they talk about, okay? Just look into anything in the deepest level of any quantum property with particle physics and biology, which is a heavy thing that I like to study. And you know, and then physics or any of those things, okay? Like when you go into the quantum properties of all of that stuff, then you realize, yes, this stuff is powerful, and it's true because everything that's around me started with sunlight hitting water and some kind of mineral, okay? So when people are telling you foam rolling doesn't work, you can't do this, they don't know how to do it right, and they have no clear understanding of the body, okay? They may have a great understanding of some fragments of different things in the dynamic of the body. But if you don't understand the body as 99% water, you don't understand the body. Because you're going to sit there and think like, I got to use this thing and smash through the tissue. That's not how it works. You put pressure at the right angle with the right amount of pressure for the right amount of time, and you will draw a response out from your nervous system. Say I'm smashing this area right here. The signal's going beep, beep. Eventually, it's going to reciprocate that, and it's going to come back to the area. And if you're doing it right, you'll feel it start to melt away, and it'll melt, 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 melt. Boom. Trigger points, okay? Adhesions, another word for them. Hard tension, okay? That's all the same stuff. It is shortened muscles. Okay, bicep. This muscle, this area to here, boom to boom. They're connected. As I squeeze, then it pulls that muscle shorter like this. If you leave it during exercise or whatever it is, you're not doing stretching and foam rolling, that muscle is going to shorten. And when it shortens, it'll stay short. It starts hardening around it if you don't open it back up. This is why I focus on long negatives. You're negative. So if you're doing a bicep curl, positive. The negative should always be longer than the positive. Of course, in athletic things and explosive motions, you bring that in and do it accordingly. But it should be more periodic. And then when you do the negative side of any exercise is the support for the heavy lifting. So if you're trying to lift heavier, you need to build a stronger negative, and you will notice your strength will shoot through the roof, okay? I hadn't worked out in 3.5 years, and I've just been back at it a few weeks, and my strength is exploding. I went from like barely doing anything on leg press, and now I'm up to like well into the hundreds of pounds, you know, where I'll probably soon I'll be able to get up to like 500-pound leg presses again, like no problem. And you know, a few weeks ago, I was scared to do over like 135 to 225 pounds because my everything was just not used to doing that. It was used to my work and things like that. So when people say that you got to take this and smash through stuff, no, you don't. You're just causing a neurological response, okay? You're causing that response. The whole body is just energy flowing through it. And your bone is harder than the tissue that's connective tissue, is different than the scar tissue, is different than calcified tissue, is different than cardiac tissue, is different than all visceral fat and different things like that. Why? Because it's water with energy flowing through it. Therefore, everything that they say about foam rolling not working is nonsense. And the reason for that is because if you spend the right amount of time, which we'll show tonight if you haven't watched this, and I'm done ranting after this, then you will draw out the response, and even the hardest tissue, guys, will dissipate. And I've had doctors and therapists that I've trained over the years and taught, and tons of massage therapists and RMTs and all different types of LMTs. And basically, I have showed them that the hard tissues are not something you should stay away from. So what am I telling you guys here, practitioner or not? The hardest is the first thing that is your primary concern. And then you go from hardest to softest tissues, okay? Then you're going to read new studies that are coming out from Thomas Myers saying you do not foam roll and stretch after a workout. Garbage, okay? I love that guy. He was his book is right there. He was a huge inspiration in my life, okay? Him and Gray Cook. The fact is, if you foam roll the way that I'm telling you, then you are never going to be working on that pliable area that you just spent, time heavily exercising with, okay? You're going to be naturally seeking out what? The hardest tissues. So those areas that you just heated up, they're going to feel nice and soft and pliable. The other areas that are around it, they're going to feel harder. So those are the ones that you're going to attack. Because yes, if you do foam roll the area exactly where you were just pinpointing hardcore right after your workout, then what's going to happen? It's going to cause like lactic acid push out, different things that you need in there for that time being for the muscle to grow and develop is going to be removed, okay? So in turn, when you think about that, if you constantly focus on hard areas, you should never seek out that area. So therefore, that study, I love that dude. I love what he's trying to say. It is correct. But these people just vaguely throw stuff out there, and they're not considering the average person who's reading this. They're just like, oh, super scientific. Let me throw it all out there. And guess what? Most people are going to go, I can't foam roll and stretch after a workout. This Muscle Whisperer Josh guy's an idiot. This doctor is telling me that I shouldn't do this. Not true. And that's one thing I wanted to clarify, because people have asked me that, and then in truth, more and more people are going to be asking me that. And I want them to know, if you foam roll the way that I teach you, you would never do that. And therefore, that study doesn't apply to you. And the other study that they did saying foam rolling and stretching doesn't work, they used a leg press. They weren't even foam rolling. How does that even make sense? And they said that 2,000 pounds of pressure wouldn't change tissue but 1%. That's like a horse kicking you in a single spot. Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Like, nobody's taking a Honda Civic and putting it on their leg and saying like, oh yeah, that would definitely. Anybody thinks about 2,000 pounds of pressure, go take a quarter of your house and set it on your leg, and then tell me that it wouldn't just shatter everything. It'll change some tissue for sure. So obviously that study doesn't make any sense, and they're not doing something that applies to us. It makes no functional sense. Okay, pelvic tilt, what we did last week. We were getting into anterior tilt, stuck out like that. Everybody wants to do the ghetto booty now and do things like that. This is how you should be all the time, okay? Glute down like you got a quarter between your butt. If you have an anterior pelvic tilt, you're going to like this. See that nice curve? Sweet, right? And then see how my shoulders are all like cocked like this? Or most cases, they're going to be like this. Well, guess what? Muscles work off leverage. So now when you have this anterior tilt and you go to squat, guess what? Look where what they call gravity is. Where is it over? You guys can see perfect here. Is it over my glutes? No, it's right here, okay? That's what's going down the midline of my body. Where do? We get the glutes here. So little basic exercise tip. This should be here on every exercise. When you squat, okay, you should not be out here, okay? That is not a squat. And these people are doing like this, and they're like, oh, yeah, we're getting into a... No, that's like lower back and mid back. you got to think of where the pressure is sitting over top of you. So what happens there? We sit. We're all sitting all the time. What's happening here? My hip flexors from here to here, they're shortening. They're sitting like this. I go to get up. Guess what? They don't want to open because I've been stuck sitting there that long. I'm at my cubicle all day at work, or I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and then I go to stand up, and what do you see? People like this. Why? This won't open up, and then this has to do both jobs. That's why people have major back pain, because their hips won't open. Second thing, I was a trainer for the last 18 years, okay? I stood and I would work insane, sometimes 250 sessions a month. So if you figure like that, what am I doing all day? I'm standing, pick stuff up, I set stuff down, you know the whole funny joke. So I'm standing all day. What does that do? Weakens my hamstrings, because after you get tired, you lock your knees, you sit like this, guess what happens? These get weak, guess what happens to my glutes? Boop, same thing. So what am I telling you? It does not matter if you're a sitter, a stander, a traveler. It all causes an anterior pelvic tilt. Fact is, you can tighten these or you can weaken these. They do the exact same effect in the end. So what are we going to do? We're going to loosen these. So everybody, we'll start with this, okay? Because I want to make it a little bit easier on you guys this time. I'm going to do more of a functional routine with you guys. So let me switch so you can see. This is your number one stretch if you have back pain, okay? So many people doing like this. Let me get back so you can see even better. So in the morning, here, butt down, okay? Butt down. See that? See that little cock where my abs engage? That's what you want. Let me see if I can tighten this. Boom, okay? That's what you want right there. You want this tucked. You want that quarter between your butt. You want to put your hand behind your back. If you feel it's curved, pull it till it's not. Drive those ribs down, ladies. Especially bikini girls and everything. Ribs are all stuck like this. We need to get more comfortable pushing them into this wall of the back, pulling the butt down so that back stays flat, okay? Knee against the ground. We're going to push a knee into the ground a little bit, okay? Glute is tucked here. You want to shove this. Pressure should be going through here like you're trying to push your butt through the leg, and the quad is trying to be pushed out, okay? Here, here. Not here, here. See that? See what happens? Stomach has to come out. You see all my tacos I just ate. And then tucked here, and then just a little pressure. You do not need to do this. Putting the leg out and going like this, you know what? That's stretching your like crotch open. That's more of that. If you want your hips to open, tuck the butt, and then just a little lean forward. You should be feeling from here down to here. And when you feel that, then what you're going to do is press that knee that's touching the ground into the ground. So tuck it and then push, feeling the pressure through here, guys. Like my sound effects. So we're going to hold this just for a minute, get this warmed up. This is going to really aid us in getting things facilitated, warmed up. And guess what? It's going to be a little less painful when we do our foam rolling set right here. Stretching and foam rolling before a workout. Never. Why? Thing I just talked about, if you haven't seen in the beginning of the video, I was explaining how they say foam rolling doesn't work, but it's in truth, it does, because the nervous system controls everything. So, if your nervous system is a recording device, then what sense does it make to prime the body by telling it we're going to reset first and then going and pummeling it in an exercise? It makes absolutely no sense. You want to set it up to where you do a dynamic warm-up. Grab your leg, walk. Grab the other leg, walk. Grab the other leg, walk. Doing things like this, rotator motions and things for upper body. That's what you want to do. Let's switch legs, guys. I just did that one. I have to remind myself. So, you just want to do a dynamic warm-up. So, look up dynamic warm-up, chest, dynamic warm-up, shoulders, dynamic whatever, body weight, guys. You just need to get blood in there. Like everybody would just go jump on the treadmill and do 5 minutes. That's brilliant. Just go out there and do some sprints, warm yourself up. Not really sprints, I should say, like a jog. And get some blood in there, and then basically do some just basic body weight motions. Remember, squeeze the glutes here, push here. You should feel this section right here, boom, going forward to where it's pulling that up. Not here. Here, you want to use your pelvis by tucking it and leaning to make yourself feel the stretch, not applying a stretch. Secondary thing, a stretch is only going to be good if you start it the right way. If you go as far as you can into a stretch, I'm stretching my chest, tissue just immediately rebounded and tried to protect, you might as well stop and wait a couple minutes and then do it again. When you stretch and foam roll before a workout, You are desensitizing the nervous system, okay? You're basically opening and loosening that thing up. It's going to be flimsy. The joints are going to take abuse right away. Second of all, you just taught the nervous system that you're going into reset, and then you're going out to prime. You primed it for the opposite of what you're actually going to do. It makes sense to do it after your workout. I think most people, if they think about it logically, would agree. Beyond that, if you take and strip this whole area with the foam roller, everybody's like, but I feel great, Josh. I feel great. I agree. You feel great. You're supposed to when you foam roll. The truth is, it's a false sense of reality, guys. You just strip this away, and then basically, we're all good. In doing that, what happens? This muscle down the middle or whatever you just hit is loose. Guess what's around it? Still tight. So what is that going to do? It's immediately going to fire everything that still has some sort of elastic tension, okay? The loose muscle won't fire and recruit as soon, and these two will take over, or whatever the situation is, depending on what area of the body you're working, and you just told the body to compensate. Those muscles just now compensated. This one's going to be weak and flimsy in its elasticity, and therefore it's not going to respond the same way. All right, I blabbed on long enough. We got a little stretch going on here. So we were doing all up in this region, okay? We are going to get up in, I'm just going to make a post. I didn't finish it, but on the glorious IT band. So I'll just talk about it now. Okay, so you feel the bump of the glute. Boop, we're right below the glute, okay? Right when it dips back in here. We're going to be taking this whole outside line of your leg, and we're going to go all the way down. This should feel wonderful. You guys should hate me after this. You know what? How can I do this? Perspective, okay? Let me know if you guys can't see or anything like that. So we're going to go here. Everybody should know. So my foot, guys, I got it turned out, okay? So I've got my foot turned towards you guys, okay? So let it roll out. So that basically is going to hit more of the leg down the side than it is straight up under the leg, okay? And you should feel this quad muscle that runs through here into the abductors, meaning the muscles on the outside of your leg. It's arguably the most terrifying and annoying and crazy tight part of the body. So just a little roll through there. And so you should feel a pretty sizable bump up in this region. And we don't want to go over it, okay? We want to stay behind it, grind, find that most tender spot you can, okay, guys? The hardest spot. So if you have to twist your body over a little bit, almost like this, feel that line, whatever the hardest line you can get into, and then we're going to grind. So see how my hands are like this? If this is just absolutely insanely brutal, then just put your hands down and take it off a little bit. If you stretch as hard as you can, or if you foam roll as hard as you can, and the muscle is like this, you're doing yourself no good, okay? Modify it. Bend the knee here. Extend it for more, bend it for less, okay? Put your hands down for less. If you need more, take a little bit off. You want to feel like you can control this melting away. You don't want to sit there and be like, oh, I can do more, I can do more. I used to do that. And the only one you can get mad at after that, when you wake up the next day and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Is yourself. So a little grinding here. You see, I don't go more than just a few inches, guys. And the only time you're really moving after the fact is, or well, during this, I should say, you're moving to grind it and keep stimulate. That's adding stimulation. It's keeping the nervous system, you know, getting some feedback. But when you sit here and you roll, you move to target the pain. So as it shifts and the tension loosens up and it goes down, it goes up, whatever it is, then basically you want to follow that. So if it feels like it's getting soft in that area, okay, turn over a little bit more. You'll feel it again. Yeah, that's definitely like a brick has been surgically installed in the side of my leg. What are you guys feeling? Feel awesome? Woo, so I'm applying more pressure. I'm hitting my knee, pressing into it. So that way I can feel like I'm hitting that bump more. I'm getting the roller like into a deeper layer so I feel like I'm up against something. And then now that I got that, I'm gonna rock a little bit. So tight. This is the one, guys. Okay, IT band is connective tissue. It's not a muscle. okay? It does not react, it does not function, it does not do anything like a muscle, okay? What I mean by that, it's a balancer of the leg. So if your leg muscles are tight, then your IT band is going to compress. What is that doing? It's keeping tension even around your leg. Okay, that's why it runs from here to here down the side of the leg. If you have tension in your legs, it's going to represent that tension. So what does that mean? How do you fix the IT band? You loosen the muscles in your leg. Why do we have such major IT band issues? And FYI, anything that ends in syndrome 100% can be fixed. And now when you get into stuff, when you talk about unfortunate signs of like retardation and things like that, I do not mean to offend anybody, okay? I got put on the spot about that one time, and I will always preface that. So Down syndrome, different things like that, okay? There is genetic predispositions that come in that are DNA makeup that have been altered, and you know, we can only pray for those people. But when it comes to anything in typical, I'm talking about muscular and joint syndromes, okay? All right, let's switch legs. Because I can go for like 10 minutes, but I want you guys to come back and say that you liked it, not that, like, why does this guy not like me? He's just torturing me every time. All right, so same thing. Maybe you guys can see it. There we go. Okay, see, whoop, leg out. You see, this one doesn't even want to go out. It's like, no. So, syndromes are typically things like, even my doctor friends and clients told me, it's just medical liability created so they can treat you, and typically that treatment comes with cortisone shots of all sorts and yada yada yada. We don't need to get into that. So the big reason we have IT band issues just so prevalent these days, why? What are we working on here? Pelvic tilt, okay? Pelvic tilt means what? Butt up, shoved up. Well, it could mean butt tucked under too much, but that is like typically only in elderly people or people who are like really big nerds like myself. I'm a big nerd, so I can say that. But when I was like going to school for video games, when I was constantly playing video games, I was gaining like a posterior tilt because I sat on my butt all day and like slouched like this. A lot of my muscles atrophied and things like that. Even though I was working out, I was atrophying certain muscles that I just wasn't engaging. And back then, my legs were strictly plyos. I really never did any compound or dynamic movements on my legs. So, but anyways, as your butt goes up, what's it going to do? It pulls down the whole side of that leg. Pulls down the whole leg. And it compounds and pushes down on the front, and it pulls on the back. Well, it's going to pull that whole line, and it's going to yank up on the IT band, and then the front side of the IT band is going to get over-compressed by the quad dominance. Anterior pelvic tilt causes the butt up in the back, causes the hips down in the front. That's where your quad gets bigger than your hamstring. Your quad is not bigger than your hamstring. It's the tissue. It's basically like your hamstring is shoved through the back of your leg, pushes out on the quad. That's truly what's happening. And I have hundreds of before and afters up to prove to you that the quad is not that much bigger than the hamstring. And I am not some crazy miracle worker who could just magically make somebody's quad look smaller and their hamstring go boom in 2 hours. It's just changing the tissue into a different position. Ooh, yeah, I just been sitting on this. So you can see, guys, one motion you can do, grind on it. This one is just a pretty big brick. So I've just been sitting on the hardest spots that I can see. Or feel. When you foam roll, you instantly become stupid. That's why typically foam rolling should just be watching something like this where nobody can make fun of you or anything, or basically not talking. Because there's like this complete disconnect and more or less like battle going on between your brain and your mouth, and then the pain and the tension release down here. Oh, this is amazing. Woohoo! Keep changing it, guys. I know this one sucks. This is just absolute terrible. So when you do this, guys, so you see the IT band, they're like, don't roll your IT band. You know what that made people do? That made so many people, this huge demographic of people, deleted rolling the outside of their leg. Completely just dissolved it from their routine. So many people that I had worked with on foam rolling and different things, they started seeing this and stuff, and without asking me about it or telling me about it, they just assumed to delete the entire outside of their leg from their routine of foam rolling and stretching. Made absolutely no sense to me. Well, to me, okay? I understand why people are doing it. because they're like, wait a minute, that's out there, and it's this big on most people, you know? It's clearly not the same size as your whole leg. Two, you see how we're kind of up under it, okay? Or when we go down on the front of this muscle we're going to hit here in a minute, it is basically we're going to be hitting it from here, but you're not straight on the side through that. And guys, you can roll straight through the IT band once you get some pressure off of it and stuff. You can lay straight on your side like this and hit right into it. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to hit all the abductors, the muscles on the outside of your leg, which just, I understand that they're not taught from the top very well anymore. Academia is almost null and void because there's tons of misconceptions when it comes to the academics. That's why I just completely stopped my PhD. Right in the middle of, you know, setting it all up for, you know, going for the PhD and everything, and I just said nope. Because I'm going to write a thesis someday, and some kid's going to base their whole career on what I said, and I'm not even going to believe in it. Because there'll be bits and pieces of it that I won't believe. Because the truth is, like, when you write those theses, they have to be off of, like, industry standard stuff, or else, you know, it's not going to pass your course. All right. Ooh, yeah. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Okay, so my favorite stretch. Cross. That's one version, one angle, just so you guys can see here. Okay, remember, if this is too hard from you, cross the leg right here, lay over it, okay? But you should go up here. Leg bent is easier, the more straight out at a 90 your leg gets, and over top of it, the harder it's going to be, okay? We're not going to do this very long because I'm rolling with you guys, so. Typically, though, I would say I do one spot on one side, one spot on the other side. Make sure you always foam roll the same spot as you just did on the one side before you move on, like we just did. I did one spot, stretch them both. I'm actually going to sit and lean because I can lay over it and target. And right now, I'm going to show you guys how to hit inner thighs. Because I don't know if anybody else is feeling this. Basically, from doing the outside of the leg, hitting that whole area, guess what? The mirrored path on this side is now showing, it's making me very aware of it. And that's something you guys should see as an indicator to let you know that you did something. So when you stand up or when you move or whatever, if it feels cold, then you got new blood flow into other areas. And if it feels light, like if I stand up and pick my knee up and stuff and move it around, and the leg feels lighter, that means obviously less tension, less friction. Therefore, the muscles aren't resisted as much, and you can feel more freedom in your movements. But when your awareness shifts, that is the biggest key. When you all of a sudden go into this stretch and now I don't feel that area on the outside anymore, what do I feel? I feel the inside of my leg, which you guys might be different based on your path of tension. So same thing, I'm just going to plop down to my side. I'm actually doing this too because I want my dad to do these. He's been dealing with some major sciatic stuff, so I'm wanting him to do these. I've been airdropping them to my mom's iPad. So just sitting and then leaning over it. So when your awareness shifts, like when you just rolled the outside, now I feel the inside of my leg on both of these, then that's a great sign. Neurologically, what was just set up in that path of tension is now shifted, and it's great when it goes bilateral or when it goes across the leg or through the body to the exact opposite side, more or less, because that means that you really did a good job in some way to actually break down that area and get some sort of real relief. And reduce tension, like I said, increase blood flow. This is good because I bet you I would have woke up tomorrow pretty sore. I've been doing some crazy negatives, but at first it was more like just range of motion, negatives, lighter weight. Now my ego is back, so now I'm like up in the weight. Although I've just got back to squatting, and I didn't use there's Smith machines open, so I didn't realize they had two Smith machines until I actually looked over and saw another girl take it. But then I was just doing the regular squat rack, and I only had 10s on the outside. Then I went up to 20 on the outside, just going, and I was basically squatting, staying at the bottom for a good 15-20 seconds, 5-10 seconds, and then coming up, really getting that range and letting my whole thoracic and lumbar spine decompress. All right, guys. So I was gonna switch to the. I'm actually gonna take this off just so I can do these. I'm going to. I was gonna switch to using this, but I'm surely not gonna roll the inner thighs. All right, so anybody, let me do a check in. I don't know if people ask to be in the video on accident, but when I'm doing these, I will never accept somebody being on my video, just to get that out there. Not to be rude or nothing, but I won't ever have somebody joining these videos. All right, so we're gonna hit right on these guys, okay? So you're gonna get it off to the side, okay? Maybe it would be. Yeah, that'll be better for this. So go like right to your crotch. So basically as far in as you can go. And then you're going to go out a little bit and you should feel a pretty good size. And this roller is basically just straight with the whole, straight across like a plus or a T across the leg. And we're just going to completely relax as much as you can. Rock on this guy right here. Get right up in the groin there, and then right out a little bit, back and forth there, about 6 inches here. We're gonna, don't roll 6 inches, you roll a total of 6 inches, but you pick different spots and then grind them out. Oh, and I'll even lay down on this one. It's all about reducing the pressure as much as you can to get the most kind of softening feeling. You want it to feel like it's resisting you as little as possible. How'd everybody feel hitting the outside of the leg and then doing that stretch? Did you guys feel some lightness on those two legs? Those two spots on your leg, sorry. I told you, the brain doesn't work with the mouth when you're foam rolling. All right, I'm gonna go up adding a little bit more pressure here. Yeah, the inner thighs are no joke. And the reason for that is the outside of the leg is normally so tight that the inside of the leg stays super weak. So, and plus, like the inside of the body, like up in the armpits and this region here, and the inside of the arm, inside of the leg, it's all the softest tissue there is. It's not like it's softer tissue than the other ones. It just stays softer by texture because of its integrity is softer just because it's not normally leveraged as much. I'm going to start doing some more videos where I'm I bought a bunch of stuff at the dollar store. They had like a stability ball and some Pilates bands and just some cheap stuff. I wanted to show, like, for $30 you can go get this out and I could show you how to build. I used to build glutes on women, guys too, but back in the day it wasn't so much guys focusing on glutes. But I used to build glutes on women like crazy, just with a stability ball, a little bouncy ball that kids get from like the cage at Walmart or whatever. And then squeezing the ball between your knees as you squat with the stability ball. People call me yoga ball, whatever. And then taking a Pilates band and putting it around your knees, around your thighs, around your calves, and pushing out on them while you're squatting on a stability ball. And basically what that does is it focuses different muscles while you're still squatting. You squeeze the ball between the knees while you squat, then you're going to focus on this, what we're doing right now. It'll make these muscles stronger, but also what it does is by squeezing that ball, it's taking pressure off the outside of the legs and the midline of the leg, and it's creating more balance between the legs in that inside-outside battle. This is finally loosening up. All right, a couple more seconds, guys, and then we'll go. All right. This one. Okay. All the way to the crotch, right in the groin. And then same thing. Basically, the more bent, I think it's gonna be terrible no matter what when you get used to this. I used to levitate off the ground when I used to do this. Fortunately, I have built up enough tolerance and hit these areas enough. Plus, that's why I focus on constant like decompressions and stuff when I do my workouts, which I think I can add here. Let me see. Nope. Says no. I will not let you comment that. Guess it's too big. So grinding here. Hello everybody that I haven't said hi to. I think I might only be able to do one more after this. I won't be able to do a Q&A, but please, anybody watching this, feel free, just write me a DM. Tell me your name. Well, just say I want in the foam rolling raffle to win yourself one of these. Or one of these. So remember, about 6 inches down the leg. You can go about halfway down the leg if you feel a big ball. This one I feel right down here. Just grind on it, holding spots for a good minute or so. Lay flat if you need it to be. Less pressure up on your arms. You know what I mean? If you want more pressure. Ooh, that just cramped my glute. Oh, stay. Right here. So, clearly don't go up to your arms unless you need to. Unless you want to find out what a super tight muscle will do in cramping the other side. So if you guys didn't do the first session of this, thank you for the brilliant idea of giving me one more thing to do, but I should do that. I'm going to go set up a new YouTube for Mr. I might continue it on my old FitBusters account because it had some old videos on there. I might as well. So I will revitalize the FitBusters account. Actually, I can, because that way I can put it up on the website and have everybody click it and go to it. Y'all can go see my war I had with Ashley Black over the freaking fascia blaster. Terrible invention on Earth. All right, getting close to the threshold. A few more seconds, guys. Find those tender spots best you can. Well, the wifey sent me the link for the website, so I guess it's live. Modern Roots Life at .shopify@gmail. Or wait. .shopify.com. Okay. Feet together. Hands up. Oh, wow. I'm almost to the floor already. That's cool. So you can see how much this and this really helps with that, because last week I was up here to start. And it surely shouldn't be better after the workout I just did today. So just elbows right on that spot on the leg where you just were, and just lean forward. And then every few seconds, I want you to push back up. Like, keep your body weight forward, but push up with your legs so you feel the inner thighs heat up. Count to about 10 in your head and let them relax. Push down with the elbows into a deeper stretch. And then every 10 seconds after that, keep the pressure the same way you had it and push up like I just did there, a little push. You should feel things change. You guys might hear my parents upstairs whacking on their bathroom upgrade. This actually used to be my whole old bedroom and living room back in the day, 18 years ago. We came home so I could hang out with them. I hadn't seen them in a year and a half, almost 2 years. And then, I mean, they'd only seen my son a couple times in 3.5 years. So, and then hoping to get this all set up and a couple different things going, and then get them moved down to Florida with us. That's where I think I'm going next. Man. So I kept that stretch a little longer. And I mean, I would do that if I was by myself, guys, but I normally, like when I'm doing the rolling videos, I do it less so we can actually get more in. All right. We're going to go straight by the... I'm gonna go right, let's see where it's gonna be. Right in the middle of the leggish, straight down the middle. You should find a wonderful spot. Let's see if I can tighten this up. It's not like it matters. Woohoo! Towards the knee, kind of like from the halfway point up. Oh, I'm glad you can't see my face on this one. This one is no fun. Down to that knee. Straight up. Oh, that just amazingly awesome. It's already starting to release though, so once you get into it, grind it. Keep breathing too, guys. I never ever put focus to tell you guys that. Probably because I'm terrible at breathing. I do amazing breathing when I'm doing like balance exercises and stuff like that, but it's like I've trained my brain to do that. But I haven't. When it comes to this, I get into a real painful spot and I will hold my breath. And you want to remember, oxygen is needed to release a muscle, so. I feel your pain. Yeah, I ain't talking much on this one. You can tell. Sometimes you can rotate the leg out, like twist your heel to the outside. Oh my gosh, that's insanity. So moving your foot like that will actually change the line you're hitting and can more or less make you cry. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I'm really good at foam rolling. I do it a lot in my life, and don't think that I'm invincible or nothing. Oh, you know what? I'm going to be curious to see how much of a difference that makes pain-wise. So I did just take my kid off. I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. Let me go out a little bit. Go up here. Hide my face. Let me get to where you can see my foot so you guys can see. So I got my other leg from straight up to my knee being bent. Oh, it's almost 8:30 anyways. I blabbed a bunch talking in the beginning, but I just won't be able to do the Q&A tonight. So we'll do this. We'll do a quick stretch. But feel free, guys, after you do these videos with me, feel free to keep hitting these areas. Keep hitting the line, like above it, below it, outside of it. Like you can do different lines. Like here, when I rotate to the outside, holy jeez. I mean, I can tolerate it, but I'm by no means going to tell you that I'm not in pain with this. This is insane. Another thing you can do is you can actually pull it. Some people like that because they can activate that and pull and get it to release quicker. Other people will tell me that they want to kick me in the face for telling me that because it just increased the pain triple. The grounding kit helps. I feel more controlled with it, but man, it still hurts like crazy. I'm gonna be so glad I did this tomorrow, though. Deep breaths. All right, just about done. Wow. Man, I don't even know if I feel like doing any more after that anyway. Whew. That was insane. And they're like still kind of pliable from me training the way I did today. But I've been feeling that, like, I've been negative in that area out, which basically be like on a leg extension, like really, really slow on the way down. All right, let's hit up that stress. Let's go for more of a straight up. So do your best you guys can. If you got to dip your butt here, but straighten it out the best you can. And just, once you're here, dip your butt. Like, don't go to sit, but keep straight and just put some pressure out and feel it hit the outside of that leg. Yeah, tucked leg, I feel better, honestly. So I got to get these up on YouTube so I can post these, and I'll do them on IGTV, but it'd be it'd be 4 parts. Some people do hours. If anybody knows how to help me, please DM me and tell me. I think it has to do with quality, like how big the file is, if they're going to allow you to do it for an hour. And since I'm shooting in 4K, I transfer the file in 4K, it won't let me do an hour. Yeah, this is basically pigeon. And most yogis would say that I'm doing a terrible rendition of it, but I like it better. Push that glute down like that. That's what I was saying. And push it out a little bit so we hit the outside of the leg. Getting some great cracks, man, because I did training legs. I'll tell you what, when you do them like slow on the positive and negative and you really let things open up and feel both sides, man, you get some great pops in your upper body. Neck pain goes away, different things. It just, when you're doing squats and have a squat bar behind you and you really pinch the shoulder blades, and while you go down, it just lengthens the spine. It's amazing. All right, let's just hit this guy up real quick again. Let's go with hands up this time. Man, I can get these down to the floor pretty good now. That's a pretty good difference. I'm not really even having to press that hard. How you guys feel? You guys feel like this? And I mean, hopefully people watch from last week and you can remember it. But what I did the first week on pelvic tilt, I think it was similar to my IGTV pelvic tilt video. First one. I'm pretty sure I did like face down, upper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's close. So if you did that one and then this one, it'd be pretty brilliant for what it would do for pelvic tilt and just overall leg function. And trust me, guys, when you hit what we just hit, your back is going to sit a lot flatter when you sleep. And that's a big thing, you know, like why people are like, oh, I'm a side sleeper. Side sleeper, too soft of a bed. If that's not the case, then you have a lot of postural limitations. And your body is trying to get comfortable while you sleep. Just crying, but great, right? All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Again, just to reiterate, if you want in for the raffle, go to my page and just I can reset somebody's pelvic tilt in the worst cases when I would work on them in just like 1 to 3 sessions. So it shouldn't take you could reset the pelvic tilt in a week, but the truth is you're just freeing stuff up. So you need to strengthen. There's a strengthening side too to actually get the pelvic tilt to stay, okay? Because you have a lot of these discrepancies that go on from the quad being, you know, overstimulated, the hamstring being understimulated, the glutes being really weak, lower back being overstimulated. So you have to like free them up. And then what I mean is you can free it up in the pelvic tilt in like a week or two of constant maintenance. And then you should be able to move out of a pelvic tilt. And then just walking with your butt down and no curve to your back, or sitting with your butt tucked when you're sitting down and things like that with the quarter, like acting like a quarter squeeze between it, it'll start to strengthen it. You wouldn't believe how just walking properly with your butt down and no curve to your lower back will strengthen your glutes, okay? Send me a DM and just tell me you want in for the raffle if you want to pick one of these. This is the soft one and this is the hard one. You can go get a black density, a hard roller. So I would get the soft one, guys. You can hit more of the outer layers a lot easier, the softer layers. And you can get a hard roller cheaper, and then get this one later. So if you don't have a soft roller, I would get the soft one first. And then just get yourself like a black density roller. Just type that into Amazon, black density roller. They're typically the black ones you'll see at Walmart, Target, all those, okay? 3-footer, 36 inches, okay? So I do this every Thursday night, guys. So I will definitely tell you if I'm not going to be here. Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I will be here. Normally I do a Q&A afterwards, but my little man's he didn't have a rough day, but it was ready for bedtime sooner than this. My wife wrote me and said that it would have been, he needed to go to bed about an hour ago. So I'm just going to cut it short with doing this. And then I hope you guys watched this. If you didn't get to see the whole thing, please, I'm going to post it right after this and share. So please go back and watch the whole live video. I'm going to go through and what am I talking about? Revitalize my YouTube. So I'll pop these up on YouTube so you guys will have it. And then I'll just let everybody know, go to the YouTube and you can see the full videos. I'll put the old one up because I still have them. And then you can see the full series of what we did last week, what we did the week before, which was upper body. I'm glad you do it. I love the grounding kit. I really do. I wish I could give them away for free. Maybe one day. First week we did upper body. So next week we're going to go back to upper body. I need it. I know you guys do too. We're going to get into more arm rolling. I'm going to show you guys more how to get into like doing forearm stuff and like getting a ball in and doing some activation and stuff, which is really what I think people should do. Not train your forearms ever. And just because they're trained with everything you do every day, and then just learn how to break them down so they're not overstimulated from the rest of your body. Thank you guys. I love you guys as always. It's such a blessing. Praise Yah for you guys spending a little bit of time with me. And I hope it changes your life. And I will continue to do this every week in hopes that we can continue doing it. Please write me. I'm always open to helping you guys. I will never, ever be bothered by your questions. I'll get back to you when I can. And I typically can get back pretty fast. I'm like an addict on their phone to help people. So I'll shoot everything up about my website and all the stuff that I'm doing because I'm going to be getting a lot different content that I can put up there. Stuff that goes more in depth, articles and things like that. So time for little man to go to bed. Time for me to finish watching the Avengers Endgame. The movie was so dang long I couldn't finish it last night. And I don't watch movies, but when it's about end times kind of stuff, and there's a lot of stuff in there, I want to see it. So again, I love you guys. Thank you for spending some time with me. Good night, or whatever you guys are doing. Have a good night.